Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you very much for joining us. We are live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we do every weekday starting 1 o'clock here. And we have a wide range of topics that we cover. And today we are talking about the Portland Water Bureau and their decision to activate the groundwater system. So we're going to find out more about that, what that really means, how that incorporates into the Bull Run system that's already in place, and really how it all works, quite honestly. And to do so, we have an expert joining us right now. We have Brandon Zero from the Portland Water Bureau. And Brandon, thanks for joining us here. We were even talking about this in the newsroom, and I realized I don't entirely know how all this system works and how it all happens. So I guess to start off, would you mind just walking us through, I guess, the general idea of how the water system works for Portland and what this new groundwater activation really means?
Sure. At the Portland Water Bureau, we've done a lot of careful planning to make sure that we have access to two high-quality water sources. So where we normally get our water is from the Bull Run Watershed, which is a rainwater-fed system. Filters through the watershed and is delivered through our pipes to the city of Portland. What we're talking about today is activating the groundwater system, which is a separate water source. The Columbia South Shore wellfield can be used in addition to the Bull Run supply during dry periods. And this system is fed from an aquifer. So rainwater naturally seeps through different levels of sedimentation, of dirt, soil, is stored underground, and then we tap that source, which is a great source of it's an equal quality drinking source that we tap during these times in the summer where we've experienced, as we have recently, drier weather, a dry summer, a hot spring, which has put us in a position where, just to make sure that we're meeting all of Portland's water needs, we're going to go ahead and pivot and tap a secondary source of water.
Gotcha. So it's because of that, that lack of, precipitation, as you mentioned. So it's just to make sure that this maintains the amount of water that we need.
Yeah, totally. I mean, each year after the dry summer season, the Bull Run, which is our primary water source, the storage reservoirs fill with fall rains and remain full during that rainy season, all the way through to early spring.
Taking a look at, how this all works too, we do have a couple of images here just to give everybody an idea, just a physical idea. So can you tell us just about this South Shore well that we're looking at right here?
Yeah, totally. And so this is the range through which the South Shore wellfield collects water. When rain falls in this area, we're able to tap it, basically filters through the soils, which act as a natural filtration mechanism. We also have additional filtration aspects that we add to it to make sure that the water quality is safe and clean for folks to drink. But it's naturally filtered through natural processes. It's actually like a pretty substantial investment that we've made in order to make sure that this aquifer is available. Then we take the water and send it through your pipes and deliver it to our customers so that people can have safe, clean drinking water. The process is very similar to the one that we use for water that's collected from the Bull Run Reservoir. The principal difference is that we've just made a lot of investments in our system over time to make sure that in the event of an emergency or just in the event of normal seasonal supply runs, that we have the capability to deliver water to our customers.
And taking a look at this right here, just to ask a scientific question associated with that. So you can see that surface water where it says not for drinking, which I'm assuming that's the river water, lake water, whatever could be around there in that area. Is that the river water that's seeping through into the aquifers? This may be a dumb question, but I honestly just wanted to clarify if that's where that's coming from.
Mostly a rain-fed system still.
Okay.
So it's mostly rainwater that goes through and is filtered through that natural sedimentation to become a aquifer that we can tap for times like this.
Gotcha. And when you're combining this into the Bull Run water, are there certain things that you have to do to make that really efficient and work? Do these two types of water go through the same, filtration system? How does that all happen?
Yeah, I mean, thanks again to careful planning for our operations folks and our system engineers. We've really are able to use the most simplistic of physics equations to make integration of these water systems work. Both the Bull Run and, well, the Bull Run reservoir and watershed is a gravity fed system. So gravity helps to pull that water from the east and, of course, sort of integrate it into our groundwater system, which is it uses pumps, of course, to actually get the water out of that aquifer and into our system. But given the nature of our system, because it is set up in a gravity way, once we activate a little bit of energy to take the water through the pumps, it can meld naturally with the water from Bull Run, and most of the system is gravity fed at that point. So after that mixture happens, we can sort of distribute that to the rest of Portland.
Is there any
It's a very
Oh, go ahead.
it's a process that is very efficient and saves bill payers dollars, since we could just use plain on gravity.
That's a good source right there. So is this something that anybody will notice a difference in their homes, say when this water comes in, this integrated water?
Only sensitive water users would really detect the difference. When we're out at Sunday parkways or different events educating folks about the differences in our water system and our groundwater system, we've actually done taste tests. And only those with the most refined palates have even noticed the difference. What you might notice if you're one of those folks is that there is a little bit more of hardness to the water. So there are a little bit more minerals content in the groundwater. And again, we're getting a mixture, right? A blend of the water that we're used to and the groundwater. So there's really just a slight difference in taste and texture, and because it's a little bit harder, you might notice when you're running your dishwasher that there's a little bit more of that white residue that folks who maybe are from the East Coast are a little bit more used to.
Gotcha. Is there any concern about pipes because of that extra hardness that could be coming through?
No, not at all. I mean, we monitor and conduct maintenance runs pretty constantly on our distribution system. This is a really routine part of maintaining our water system and really making sure that we can deliver safe, clean drinking water. I really want to thank everyone who pays a water bill for the investment that they're making in the system, because this is why people pay for their water bills, right? Is so that when our water levels get a little bit lower in the summertime, we can resort to our secondary water source to make sure that we can still provide quality drinking water.
All right. And do you have, since we are tapping into this, is there any anticipation of any, water notices as far as, don't water your lawn or shortages of anything like that?
No, not at all. I totally understand the question. This is a situation where folks hear, oh, we're going to a different water source. Why is that? I want to make it perfectly clear to folks that the reason that we're moving to groundwater is just to make sure that we can use our secondary water source. There's no shortage that is anticipated. Our primary water source is just looking like slightly lower than it should, which is something that we anticipate. We're in a world in which we have hotter, drier summers. And so we're thankful that we've made the investment and have the forethought to plan to create this secondary groundwater source. We're far away from any talk of a shortage or curtailment for use of water.
All right. Well, thanks, Brandon. Anything else that you think is important for people to know?
Yeah, I mean, so the reason that we come to the decision to activate groundwater is because we've done a lot of careful monitoring over time of local forecasts of water levels in our primary water source, the Bull Run Watershed, and working a lot through the system to figure out what the water needs would be for our community. So I want folks to know that we're keeping an active monitoring. We're constantly monitoring the system, monitoring weather patterns to figure out when we'll need to use groundwater, if we'll need to use it. So it's something that we have a pulse on. We're keeping tabs on it to make sure that we have the water that we need.
Well, fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us to walk through that too and explain, just a little bit more of how that works, at least for people like me who don't quite understand that system. Now I know it much better thanks to your explanation on that. And yeah, thank you for being here on Fox 12 Now. All right, and for everybody who's watching live, I appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. We've got lots coming up here this afternoon. And if this is your first time watching, don't forget to download that Fox 12 Oregon app. This is also the place for breaking news between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. If something like that happens, I will be here getting that to you. We'll send out a notification and we'll get you that information as soon as we can. But thank you for joining us for this. Again, we'll take a break. I'll be back live in about 15 minutes or so. I'll talk to you then. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.